happy to be back. It has been a tremendously busy New Year's. It was a busy Christmas. So let's get right now into it. So after the New Year, basically like everyone, I made New Year's resolutions. And one of my New Year's resolutions this year is no commercial clothes buying, with one exception for myself. I will be buying bras. I'm not very comfortable making my own bras at this point, but I felt like I can pretty much do the rest of my own clothing. I can make shorts, I can make tops, I can make pants and stuff like that. Alright, and so since January 1st, I've been incredibly busy. Actually, before Christmas, guys, I was incredibly busy. At the time that I did the last video, once my family realized I can use the embroidery machine quite well, everybody wanted embroidered stuff to give to other people for Christmas. So I had a mound of stacked stuff here, or sewing stuff that I had to do before Christmas, and it was a whirlwind. I did not even get it all done. For the New Year's, I wanted to incorporate more of my cutting machine and my embroidery machine with my sewing. I also wanted to, like I said just before, quit commercial clothes buying for myself, with the one exception that I will be buying shoes and I will be buying bras. For my daughter, the goal is to, if not make 100% of her clothing, then at least try to make 80% of her clothing. And my son, more or less like 10%. Give him a couple of things that I can make here and there for him, but truthfully, it's commercial buying for him due to the fact that I can't make Nike. And he's at that age where that's what he wants. So let's get into what I've been doing from basically January 1st till the current day, which I think today is like the 13th or the 14th. I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked at the updates yet. Alright, so first of all, this year I also wanted to, in my sewing, I wanted to get more into the independent pattern companies, at the same time still using my big major four, which is Butterick, Simplicity, Vogue, or what have you not, and McCall's. And so this year I really wanted to get into more independent pattern companies. So I went online, I was looking up independent patterns, and I came across Collect, and I think it's called, also they work in collaboration with Seamwork. And I want to say Steamworks for some reason, but there's no T in there. It's Seamwork. So it's S-E-A-M-W-O-R-K. And so what they're, so basically what they offer is you can buy a subscription to their patterns, and you can pick out 2 patterns each month, or 1 pattern depending on what subscription you bought into. So of course I picked out my subscription. I paid my money, and I was able, actually, because I paid it like on December the 31st, I was able to get 2 patterns for December, and then 2 days later I was able to get 2 patterns for January, which was pretty decent. Now I gotta wait 30 days until I can get another 2 patterns. But some of the patterns that I got are some of the patterns that I worked on this time. Now for their patterns, I did start off simple. I was looking for simple stuff that I can just jumpstart my sewing, and that I can work readily with either the embroidery machine or my cutting machine to produce just amazing results that normally you just can't typically reproduce by yourself with a sewing machine or something like that. So let's get started. For Collect pattern, the first thing I got was the Alice t-shirt. Now the Alice t-shirt really reminded me of the what is it, Tilley and the Buttons, I can't think, the Agnes top, excuse me, the Agnes top, and it is actually made a little similar to that. And so it just maybe a few minor differences here and there, but it did really remind me of that. I wasn't mad that I got it, or I could have just used the Agnes top, because there was some variable differences in it. I was happy with the results, and so here are the results of this top, and as you can see, I like it. I'm still working with this, and I'm going to explain why I had to go over this again and why you see some of the pickings out of this, because I actually took all my zigzag hemming out, and I'll explain that later. Well, I can explain it now. Well, this month I was able to get me a cover stitch machine, and you're like, oh my god, you bought a cover stitch machine? Didn't you just get through with Christmas? Yes, but this month is my birthday. And for Christmas, I really didn't ask for anything for my birthday because I knew I had got the embroidery machine, and I didn't really want to ask for anything. But my husband did look at me and he said, baby, it's your birthday, and it's one of those big ones, so what do you want? And I looked at him just ready for this question to come out of his mouth. I would like a cover stitch machine. And so I was able to purchase a cover stitch machine, but I was lucky. I was lucky because I was able to find one that was a trade-in that I was able to get for a fraction of the cost. And so basically, I was able to pick up the Cover Stitch Pro by Janome, the 1000 CPX. And guys, like any other machine out there, this thing takes some learning curve and working with. But once you figure out how to take the material off of the machine, and once you figure out change your needles and stuff like that, it does work beautifully. Now, this was day one of me playing with it. So some of it came out really fairly decent, and I was happy with it. Some of it, I was like, oh, okay. I was kind of a little worried about it at first. But this was day one. And the second top that I'm going to show you was day two. Okay. And so I was able to produce this one, this t-shirt. I like it. I also produced this one with the two Mabel skirts. I believe they're called Mabel skirts. And I did this one, and I'm going to tell you, I did this one. I like this one the best. This is made with double knit. And this one is made with some type of, I want to say, ponte, I believe. Or it's some type of, or stretch suiting is what I think it is really called. And I like this one the best, but I made a major mistake on that one. I bought the fabric, no, my daughter bought this fabric, and I had enough material to cut off 2 skirts. And one of the things that I didn't do at the time was I didn't cut the fabric going the right stretch. So it's a 4-way stretch, but limited stretch on one end and more stretch on the other end. So when I tried to put it on, it didn't quite fit because it didn't have the stretch that it was supposed to have. When my daughter put it on, who's smaller than me, it fit her perfectly. So this became her skirt. This one's mine, and it goes with my new Alice top. So this is the Mabel skirt that I did through Colette Patterns, and this is the Alice top. Again, I'm still working on those patterns. And again, this was the first day I worked with the cover stitch machine that I got for my birthday. And one of the things I did have to do, and one of the things I did take out, I took off all of I had first had these zigzag stitches in, and I took all the zigzag stitches out, and then I was playing with it, and I had to take stitches out, and I had to play with it again. So yeah, but she made it through, and I will wear this shirt. Alright, so let me put these off to the side. Now, as far as what I've been doing with embroidery, okay, so my baby girl, one of the things that we've been doing with the embroidery is I've been trying to embroider more so on the clothing, and I've been trying my best to make sure that you know, I like to put the stuff in the embroidery machine before I even sew them together. That way, if I mess up, I can just cut me another piece if I have enough fabric, or I know whether it's even worth proceeding on, or I have to try something else, or to go get some more fabric. And so I find that it is much easier to embroider when you don't have material to get out the way. And so I have been trying to like I've been loving embroidering on fleece material. It's so easy to embroider on fleece material. You get some amazing results. The designs or the sewing patterns don't have to be complicated. The first one I did was Simplicity 8805, and I'm gonna show you it right here. And I'm probably going to bring it up along the screen if I remember to put it in. But I did view B with the little girl. I just didn't do the tutu. I didn't want to do, basically I had used sweatshirt fleece material. And sweatshirt fleece material do cost quite a bit of money. And I didn't want to put a tutu material in there, something that could rip easily, and I feel like either I have to do it over again, so I made the whole thing out of sweatshirt fleece material. And it is heavy. I mean, if she wore it, as you can see right here, if she wore it, it will, I mean, she will be warm. If you put some tights in it, she will definitely be warm. This was kind of tricky for me right here. I didn't know it was going to come out as thick as this. I should have used probably a thinner material or even maybe maybe a knit material for this part right here in a cream color or off-white. I didn't realize how thick and bulky this was going to be. And I probably need a little bit more practice at this. The design that I did from the embroidery machine, I found on Etsy. And it was a part of a package of designs, and I'm pretty sure I only paid a couple of dollars for it. It's part of a package of designs. One said, maybe thankful, grateful, blessed. And I thought this would be just something simple to put on the top of the top without taking away from the overall design of the shirt. And so I put blessed on her shirt. And as you can see, yes, it's a Sunday dress. But I did love working with this material. I will probably like to do this material, in a more of a hoodie, and that way we can take off some of the material so it won't be as heavy. But in the wintertime, this is great. Summertime, this will be put up. Alright, and again, that was Simplicity Pattern 8805. It was simple enough to do. It just had this little keyhole buttonhole in the back. I mean, working with this material is kind of easy because when you cut into it, it doesn't fray. So it's not like you have to do a whole lot of cleanup work on it. Even though I did do a little bit of serging to clean it all up. And at the time when I did this one, I did not have the cover stitch machine. So I just did a simple, I just serged the ends and then do a simple straight line, considering since this was a more of a ruffled, I'm going to say the ruffled skirt of the dress. It wasn't going to get any stretch on it. Okay. But I was happy with this result. I don't know if I'm going to do another one this year. I probably will end up doing another one probably next year. But we'll see. We'll see how much, how I basically feel, or how much winter is left, really. Okay. Another thing I did was Simplicity's 8805 for her. And here's 8805. And I did View B. And yes, I did work with my embroidery machine with this one. Again, I took the top, when I cut out the front bodice, basically I took that to the embroidery machine before we even started doing anything, and I embroidered the design on top of it as it was a flat piece, and it's easy to do embroidery when the shirt is not all put together. And so I was able to come up with this nice Winnie the Pooh. And I just put Pooh Bear. And the bear I got from Etsy, but the fonts I actually got from Baby K's. And she's in the embroidery shop. She is really, really simple. All you have to do is purchase the designs, put them on a stick, put your designs into your embroidery machine. If you got a little bit of editing that you're able to do with your embroidery machine, you can pull them up and just plug them in. If not, you might have to get a software like CPX Pro, which is what I use. And basically, I came up with the design, put the design in the embroidery machine, had it printed out, and it came out beautifully, and I love the results. This is a really, really simple pattern to sew. And let me see. It is. I mean, truthfully, guys, I think it was one. If you count 2 arms, the bodice, the back, there was 5 whole pieces to put together with this, and it could not be any simpler. And the way when it came out with the embroidery design on top of it, I truly loved it. Now, the only thing about this design, especially the turtleneck design, I don't think the turtleneck was really designed. I mean, it comes high up on your child's neck. Will come high up on your little girl's neck. And if they're comfortable with that, and you're comfortable with that look, then it's pretty good. But really, this type of material is not really meant to fold over. And so, I mean, I loved it on my little girl, but I can see some people really not liking it. Also, it didn't do very well in all types of material. Now here, I loved it in the fleece. And I loved it so much in the fleece, I tried it on my sweater knit material. And here on the sweater knit material, I'm finding that I like this version. My husband liked this version better than all the other version. It's flexible, so it kind of gives a nice little droopiness to the neckline, so it's not too bad. And I love it on this version too. Well, with this material, not this version, with this material. So the sweater knit worked very well. But the 2-way stretch knit, didn't like it. Maybe because there was a little bit more structure, the material was too thin. It just, I don't know. I didn't too much care for it, but my daughter loves it. And I think she only loves it because it's the horses. And I finally did sew that horse material that I told her that I would one day sew up for her. So she likes it. And it's going to be more or less a play top. She's going to get some use out of it. It's just that when I redo this, because I know this is one of those staple things that I will be doing next year for her, or even a couple more this year, because it's still cold outside. It won't finish being cold until after April. I mean, we'll get our hot and cold days in April, but basically it'll be some days I'll have to put on her one of these fleece material, one of these fleece tops, and some days I can put her on something a little bit cooler for warmer weather. And so she'll get a lot of play out of this. I just will not be doing it in either. I won't even do it in jersey knit, nor would I do this in this 2-way stretch knit. It's definitely not the 2-way stretch knit. So that's what I found out about this pattern. I mean, it just, even on the picture where you see the little girl modeling it, you see that she grabs her, she's grabbing that turtleneck. And that's because that turtleneck comes up really high. So you might want to adjust knowing this. I find that the type of materials I use is what's really key here. Okay. Alright. Another thing that I end up doing, and so I started getting really into my embroidery machine, and I was looking at my cutting machine, which is, I have the Cricut Air, and I was like, I better start using that thing. And you know, because you want to always make it seem like you're using all your materials and your you know, and over Christmas break I was doing stuff for everybody else. Everybody was giving me reasons to use it but myself. So I decided that I wanted to make a t-shirt, and really it's because I made the t-shirt, I got back into the t-shirt after I got the cover stitch machine, and I wanted to use it and to see how well it was going to do on the jersey knit. Jersey knit on the cover stitch machine can be tricky, and it is because it's such a thin material and want to stretch, which then creates a little bit of tunneling, and so you have to be really careful with how it comes out. I myself love the results that I got. I know I played around with it, and I also know that I played around with my first shirt over there and gave it all the testing I could possibly find. I also know that before I even put my new shirt on there, I took all the scraps and made sure I loved the results before I even did. I put my piece of clothing on there. And so I came up with my new t-shirt, which I am going to create probably 5 more of these, but not in this color. It's just going to be, I'm basically going to go and just get a yard of different jersey knits and different patterns, and then just create solids and patterns, or solids and prints, and then just create myself different shirts, and then put different things to motivate myself. And like I said, I like how the stitching came out on the for the cover stitching, but I know this is tricky, and even though I like how it came out, I know it's not perfect. So it's something I will constantly still probably be working with, guys. But I also know that I am absolutely in love with that thing right now. It just ups my game with my sewing. I can show you here where I was trying to sew in the round, and my little sewing was like, Here is much more cleaner. It's a lot straighter, and maybe it's because I took when I was looking up how to work with this machine, I took some of the tricks how to keep my hemming straight. And I also purchased my favorite machine, not my favorite machine, my favorite equipment yet. And yes, I'm looking on this table because it's on this table somewhere. Oh, here it goes. This little thing helps clean up your hemlines a whole lot. And I probably could have used it on that and cleaned up my hemline. So, basically in love with this and the Cover Stitch Machine. But yes, I basically had to, what they say, basically what I had to do was I heat pressed, I had to use heat pressed the Gorgeous on, and then I did the Happenings Looks Good on You, right over top of it. The materials that I used was, I think, foil heat press and then just final heat press. And the two materials work very, very well together. Like I said, I will be making myself, I want to say, at least 4 more of these. I'm trying to get them out so that, because I'm doing my own clothing, I don't want to have to feel a need to run to the store and buy clothing or buy me a t-shirt. So I'm trying to get at least like 4 or 5 shirts that I can wear in a given day and be comfortable in. So that's what I did. Okay, so my last thing is, well, today was church day, and oh my God, and I've been telling myself I was going to do so I did 2 independent pattern companies so far. I did Collect Patterns or Seamwork patterns, and I did Tilley and the Buttons. My last one was actually, they're actually an independent pattern company, but I think they sold either some of the rights or they worked in collaboration with, we just said Sew House 7. So Sew House 7, the toaster sweater. And I've been hearing a lot about this. I actually wanted the pattern with the raglan top, but when I was looking it up, I knew I had a Sew House 7 toaster sweater in my collection, and it's the other version of the toaster of the Sew House 7. And I'm gonna just bring her a little bit closer. Now, first of all, this could not be any easier to sew up. I mean, it's basically no hemming once you attach the band on the bottom, and you attach the band to the sleeves, and the collar is already attached. It's just the way you sew it down. This could not be any easier. I mean, even the most basic beginner person can whip this out within an hour and love their results. At first, I thought when I was looking at it on my mannequin, I thought I wouldn't like it until I put this on. Maybe it's a combination. I really love this material. It's some type of sweater knit material that I found at Hobby Lobby. On sale right now on clearance. I think they're $4 off. I'm probably going to run there probably tomorrow and see if they have any more, and probably buy the rest of it, because the last time I looked, I maybe had a couple yards left on there. And I really, really love the feel of this material. But I do love this. I know now that I've tried Sew House 7, I'm probably going to try a couple more of their patterns, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so basically that's been my journey with my cutting machine, my embroidery machine, my sewing machine, and my cover stitch machine, and don't let me forget the serger. But that's been my adventure. Like I said, I feel like I've completed my sewing my sewing room at this point. There's not anything else I need in here, and I feel like now I should commit myself to doing the things that I said I was going to do, and which is I am not buying anything. So I have been trying to sew. My next project is going to be, which you guys should see hopefully by next week. I'm trying to do some, what's it called, leggings. Believe it or not, I have never sold leggings. So I'm hoping to have a couple of versions of leggings and me wearing some, and hopefully that will motivate me to get into that other New Year's resolution we keep talking about, which is work out more. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my channel. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.